I mean, my grandmother would just give me a clip around the ear and say, get down to the end of the street. You shouldn't be up in Marketplace here. Hello and welcome to another vlog. I'm on Eccleston Street, only just on Eccleston Street at the junction of Warrington Road. I'm going to tell you a story, so I'm going to walk down here. Now imagine, right, it's the middle of winter. I'm walking down here, 1968, 10-year-old boy walking down here, middle of winter, snow on the ground like slush. And then suddenly, I get to about this point here, and look on the ground. It's a 10 shilling note. I find a 10 shilling note on the floor here. 10-year-old boy, 10 shillings. That's worth about 20 quid these days. 10 shillings was nothing then. Well, it's a lot of money for a 10-year-old boy, but it was worth about 50 pence, I suppose, in real money. But I'd found a 10 shilling note, so it's all soggy and everything. And I walked down here, come with me. I walked down here all excited with my 10 shilling note in my hand. And coming down here, little 10-year-old boy slipping and sliding on the snow. And, I get to this point at the end by the flat iron building here. So I'm stood here and I see some mates from school. Oh, come congregate, I've got a 10 shilling note. Oh wow, what? And then, anyway, we ended up, there was a sweet shop over here and there was a sweet shop down there, 2 sweet shops, and between them 2 sweet shops I bought all my mates sweets. And the 10 shilling, I thought I was rich. And for that moment in time, I became the most popular boy in Prescot for one day. Well, as long as the sweets last, anyway. So then that 10 shillings, I know really you should give it to somebody, but no. I spent all that 10 shillings, and I've never forgotten about it. Now imagine if I came back like 50 odd years later and then somebody put a picture of me as a 10-year-old boy on the street that I grew up on, Kemble Street. Imagine that. And I told that story, and that story was plastered on the street. I wonder what my grandma would have thought of that. She would have given me a clip around the ear and say, get back home. Shouldn't have spent that money. Should have given it to me. Pay the rent. Anyway, that's that story, and that leads us nicely into the vlog that we're talking about, which is the picturing historic England high streets. So here, that's it. Actually, this is the Tony Mallon, who is basically the photographer in residence for Historic England, and this magnificent project which is called Picture England's High Streets. And he's been working with groups of people from Prescot, most recently members of Born and Raised in Prescot, and so he's kindly come along to talk about this project. So I'm going to introduce Tony now and see exactly what this project is all about.
This is a 3-year project. We're coming to the end of the first year, and I've been engaging mainly sort of group members from Prescot Born and Raised. We've been holding monthly photography and memory fairs, and there's an opportunity for the participants to share their stories and memories and photographs. A short, small selection of these are being exhibited in 3 locations, which we'll see in shop fronts. I mean, it's good, but in one sense it's not good because shops are lying vacant and derelict, but at the same time we're utilising those spaces as temporary pop-up exhibition spaces, which I'm quite keen on, and it's an opportunity to reach out to bigger, wider audiences than normally you probably would if you kept into a gallery environment. What I really like about these pictures as well, we're getting a glimpse of someone's history, their family history, which we normally don't get to see. These personal images that they're kept in family albums have become public, you know, and then it's a really nice element to seeing images that we've never seen before and memories and stories that we've never heard before as well.
This is really interesting because you've been working with the Born and Raised in Prescot group since March this year, haven't you?
Yeah.
And it's been a regular, ongoing monthly meet-up with these people. So I suppose it is a visual arts project. So I'm just wondering how you've formulated the ideas that you did through talking to people and involving people, and how it evolved into these specifically, I suppose, random images and random...
yeah, I mean, as you said, it's a visual art project, and in particular, first and foremost, a photography project. Now, how would you get people involved in a photography project? There are people who don't necessarily want to take photographs, but are interested in the subject of photography and looking at other people's images. So photography was the starting point. And with that, though, but exploring the high streets, you know, who's got images apart from one of the participants of Prescot's high street over the years? It's not something you normally would photograph, but using those images from family members was the starting point for them to then reveal and be open about their stories and memories of the high street. And so that's how it came together. It was the element of using participants' images in conjunction with the text-based work, which was more to do with their stories and memories of the high streets. A particular shop, you know, a particular memory, a fond memory, usually something that they look back on with a smile. And
this is the first year of doing this, isn't it? You're into it's a 3-year project, isn't it? With Historic England
and Open Eye Photography
and
Gallery.
Open Eye Gallery.
Yeah, so we're coming to the end of the first year, and that first year has been mainly focusing on the past of Prescot. And that was a conscious decision for me, because how do you explore the subject of the high street? So we use as a starting point the past, and future sessions will start to explore in the present and what that means to the participants and local residents. Yeah, so we've got, this is, like I said, coming to the end of the first year. We've got another 2 years to go. And there will be opportunities for residents and other community groups to become involved in the project.
Yeah. So is all the project going to be this kind of like outdoor stuff, or have you got other kind of exhibition kind of things?
I think at the end of every 12 months, there's going to be an exhibition. So next year, we're not sure at this stage where will that be in, but more than likely we're still wanting to pursue what we got here, anything that's in the public realm, that's on the high street itself, that is on a shop front. And like I said, what that does, it gives, you know, it raises the profile of the work, and to a wider audience, you have a bigger reach. So there's that, but what will also happen at the end of the 3-year project, there will be a exhibition with Open Eye Gallery. But also, this is one of 6 projects that Historic England have commissioned around the UK to do, and Prescot was one of those. So there'll also be a joint exhibition with those towns and cities coming together at the end of those 3 years.
So it's a very rare thing then for Prescot to have a photographer in residence and this kind of project that involves the local community, isn't it?
It is very rare, and I just think what a great opportunity it's been, you know, and in Historic England to choose Prescot as to be part of this. What I think is just a valuable project, but also what comes from it from the participants and what they get from it as well. And I think it's it'll be interesting to see how it does develop over the next 18 months and 2 years. Yeah.
Well, I must say, I've really enjoyed going around and seeing these. I mean, I saw them the other week when I think they'd probably just gone up. And going down to Kemble Street and seeing my own 10-year-old self on the very street that I grew up, and it hasn't been there for 50-odd years. My 10-year-old self on Kemble Street was quite a thrill for me, personally. So I'm assuming that the participants have had as thrilling a time as I have as seeing these images actually displayed in the public realm. I'm sure you've had good feedback from...
Yeah, I mean, we just, earlier on today in the session, we went along to the 3 sites to have a look at and view the artwork. But again, it was just it was interesting with the group and how they responded and interacted with the piece. And it just stimulated even more discussions, evoked even more memories from their childhoods, from when they grew up in the teens. Yeah, so it was really interesting, and all positive feedback from everyone who's seen it. Yeah.
Well, I think it's been a brilliant project to be involved with for not just for Born and Raised in Prescot, but for Prescot as a whole. You know, it's a place that's largely been neglected as far as visual art is concerned, and now with the building of the Shakespeare of the North and new exhibition spaces in there, I'm sure that we'll see many more photographic things going on, and public art in the public realm is something that's close to my heart, certainly. And I think this is a great project for Prescot. So
it certainly is. And if anyone who's watching this as well, I mean, please, if you do have any of those photographs that are lying around in your family album, please dig them out. And also, more importantly, we want to still hear your stories and memories of the town centre, of the high street.
Absolutely. And I keep saying that all the time to Born and Raised in Prescot. And all the time, new things come up that I've never seen before, and you think you've seen everything about Prescot, and you haven't, because a lot of people just are not sharing their images and stuff, and there's lots of stuff locked away in cupboards and in boxes and stuff that people are really interested in seeing, and if you don't tell these stories, they're forgotten, aren't they?
Yeah, I just had one of the participants this afternoon was saying that she was, I think one of her relatives passed away, and then so she had the photographs. And then I think some other people were saying, well, why'd you keep hold of them? You know, I mean, but they're so important. It's a you know, you're documenting someone's history, and they're so important, since there's no way I'm going to throw these away.
Absolutely.
You know,
yeah, that really are the photography, photos, and documents and stories are so important. From a historical point of view, if nothing else, I mean, history is everything. We've just bounced onto Kemble Street now, and Tony's just brought us down here, and he'd like to say a few words about this panel here.
Thanks, Phil. Well, this is one of the 3 locations in the town centre where the work's being currently displayed. So on this shop front here, we've got Dorothy Dorr, or she's known as Dot, and she's been one of the regular members to the photography and memory fair. And through attending those fairs and sharing her stories, she told us that she documented Prescot from a young age. But again, these were just photographs which remained in the family album. So here we've got her photographing where the Civic Hall was just demolished, and then she documented where the Prescot shopping centre was being built. She's got images of herself when taking over the years at various walking days, processions, and then even to the extent of here, but she actually in her family album called Shopping, is that those which we all did. I think she said she was 15 when these were taken in the photo booth.
The photo booth.
Yes, we all did that, and it was so exciting to get those pictures taken and watch it develop in front of your eyes. What I really like with Dot's work, I mean, there is quality to that, but they're documenting the history of Prescot, but it was the first time any of these photographs have been displayed. And I've spoke to her earlier on today, and she's been down there and she's done the same. She's had the families come down and take photographs, but she loves the display. And for the first time in her life, her work is up there in an exhibition, and the work stands up of merit, and it's important, like, people see this. You know, there's a load of people like this probably who, you know, have documented spaces and places which are never seen or shared, but they are so valuable. Yeah.
I'm particularly taken about this one of Walking Day in Eccleston Street, and this is these buildings are no longer there now, but I remember them as a kid. Finley and Hall and Hugh Lewis, the camping shop. Who remembers that? So this is kind of like things. Oh, Swift, the upholsterers. Yeah, so it's just fascinating from that. I've never seen that photo before, but look at this here. I just want to show you this. Look at this.
Does this look familiar?
Yeah, it hasn't been on the street since 1968. Not at that age, anyway, because that's me as a 10-year-old boy. So it's fascinating to see that. I mean, my grandmother would just give me a clip around the ear and say, "Get down to the end of the street. You shouldn't be up in Marketplace here." He'd shout at me. So anyway, so it's great to see that, and certainly these photographs are excellent. Yeah. So yeah, anything you'd like to add to it?
No, just for people who haven't seen it and have only seen the pictures of it on the Facebook group, please come down and visit the 3 sites here and the 2 on Eccleston Street, and more importantly, please come get involved in any of the future photography and memory fairs that we're going to hold.
Yeah, absolutely. It's only the start of the project. It's only the first year. Tony's here for 3 years.
Yeah. The last thing I want is maybe 12 months' time, 18 months' time, people go, "Oh, I wish I could have got involved in that." Oh, it's just, you know, now is the time to get involved.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity to get involved with something creative and be part of the English heritage. Is it English?
Historic England.
Historic England, and it will become part of the catalogue.
So what we have as well as part of this project, at the end, there's going to be 20 images which will go into their archives. Yeah. So 20 images from this project
will go into the archives to be searchable forever. Fantastic. Thanks for watching.